Hello and welcome back to the Smart Start Recreational Therapy Insights YouTube channel. I am your host, Nathan Lamaster from Smart CU's Hub. I have enjoyed doing these with you every week. This week we will be going over motivational interviewing and recreational therapy. So for those of you that don't know much about this topic or are exploring the idea of it for your practice, or improving on some skills, this is the video for you. And whether you are working with clients facing mental health issues, physical health issues, whatever the case might be, motivational interviewing's purpose and what it's doing is drawing out the motivation of clients that are lacking that motivation to get better or to recover. So these are the skills that you'll be needing to use to help them to do their best and to do their part. So let's take a look at how this might look in a recreational therapist's practice. This applies to almost every single practice you could work in, and we will be talking about how to use it so you can add it to your RT tool belt. All right, without further ado, let's dive on in. Okay, what is motivational interviewing, you might ask? Motivational interviewing is a collaborative, person-centered counseling style. It's not about convincing someone to change, okay? So we're not just trying to, hey, you should do it, you should change. It's about helping them explore their own reasons for change. So when people internally want to change, they're more likely to do it than when someone else tells them to do it, okay? So the goal is to speak to what motivates them. It's built on 4 key principles. Expressing empathy, so being able to understand where they're coming from and what it is, the reason why they're struggling for this change or why they're feeling the way that they're feeling, is a great thing that you're going to discover when you do this motivational interviewing. You're going to be developing discrepancies, so see where their words and their actions are not lining up, and see what the real reason behind the reason is. So a lot of times people will tell you something. They'll say, I don't want to do this because of this. But it might not be even the real reason. They might not even be aware of their reason as of yet. But your goal is to kind of pull that out of them. Okay? Rolling with resistance. So when resistance comes your way, you as the person doing the motivational interviewing have to be able to roll with resistance and not just give up and clam up. Okay, and then you're going to support self-sufficiency. So the goal is that you want them to be able to tell you. You want them to be able to do the things that make the change. So motivational interviewing is about them. It's not about you. Okay, in short, motivational interviewing meets people wherever they're at, okay, and helps them to get wherever they're trying to go. All right, the foundation of motivational interviewing. We're going to use an acronym today. We're going to say OARS. So OARS, OARS, like OARS. Okay, O stands for open-ended questions. Okay, what are your goals right now? You're not asking them specific questions. You're asking them open-ended questions. And you're definitely not asking them yes or no questions because you want them to open up to speak to you about whatever it is that they're trying to do or what's holding them up. Okay, open-ended questions do that a lot better than those closed-ended questions, which allow them to put up their walls and defend and just say, I'm good, or no, or yes, those types of things. Okay, A, affirmations. It sounds like you've worked really hard to get to this point. So you're going to point out the things that they have done that are working. Maybe it's, okay, you're here at the hospital. You are in a place where these changes could start happening. And if you are willing or want to, I would be willing to help you along the way to figuring out what it is that really motivates you and gives you that purpose to wake up in the morning. And we'll work together through this. Okay, reflective listening. So R in the OARS, reflective listening. You're frustrated because you want to improve, but you feel stuck. So this would be repeating back to them what they are saying to show that you are understanding what they are saying. So when they say something and the reason why they're saying it, you're going to repeat it back to them and show that you were listening. Okay, that'll help build the connection and show that you are on their side and you are going to help them. Okay, that's a surefire way to make them not feel like a number and make them not want to get better. Okay, and then S. Okay, summaries. So what I'm hearing is, so this is at the end of what they are telling you and your assessment and your interviewing style that you're doing with them. Now you're going to be trying to summarize everything that they said. So that shows that you were listening and that you understand them. Okay, people want to be understood. And when they're understood, they're more likely to trust what you are saying because you understand. Okay, so that is your acronym for today. Again, open-ended questions, affirmations, reflective listening, and summaries, so OARS. Okay, these tools help create a safe space where clients feel heard and empowered to talk through their ambivalence. Okay, so the things that are causing them to clam up and whatever they're going through, these are the skills that you must do as a rec therapist in this type of role to be able to be effective in discovering their motivations. All right, we're going to talk about the spirit of motivational interviewing. So this is kind of what you're trying to convey when you're doing this practice, okay? There are 4 key pillars of this that you need to understand. One is partnership, okay? You are not the expert on the client, they are, okay? Don't go into it thinking that you know more than them. Go into it figuring out what really makes them tick, okay? And makes them want to get better. Acceptance is the next pillar. You respect their right to choose, even if you disagree with their choice, okay? 3, compassion. You care deeply about their well-being. That's that empathy, okay? And evocation. You draw out their reasons for change. Your goal is to draw those out from within them so that they can make the decision to change and to be motivated to do so, okay? It isn't about telling someone what to do. It's about helping them discover their own why. Okay, now we're going to talk about how to handle resistance and ambivalence. So we used that word ambivalence in a few segments ago. Okay, when clients push back on you, it is easy to fall into the trap of trying to persuade them. Okay, so you might think you have the solution for their problem, and you're like, I really want them to think like this or to do this thing. Okay, now that is a trap. Don't do that. Okay, do the opposite. Okay, resistance is a signal to shift your strategy. Okay, that's what it is, not to push harder. Okay, you might say things like, what would be the downside of making a change or making this particular change in your view? Okay, letting them come up with the reasoning. Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is this to you? Okay, you're shifting it to them so they can make an assessment on their own. And what would you need to happen for that number to go up? Okay, they might say, I don't know. Or they might say, if this was the case. And then therefore that's the things that they're helping piece together so that they can make the plan for moving forward. Okay, ambivalence is normal. Okay, when you're depressed and you're anxious and you're feeling like there's no hope, sometimes you just want to give up. Okay, motivational interviewing helps clients to explore this in a safe, non-judgmental space, allowing them to make these decisions. And your goal as a recreational therapist is to help draw things out from within them. All right, using motivational interviewing in your practice. So this is the how-to, guys. All right, you can use motivational interviewing during assessments, treatment planning, or even mid-activity while you're doing some sort of intervention with the client. It could be in a group setting. It could be one-on-one. It's really up to you and when you feel it's appropriate. Okay. Some examples of when you might use it could be a teen who doesn't want to participate in a group, or an adult that doesn't want to participate in a group. And you ask them, what's something you enjoy doing if it was on your terms? What would you be doing right now if it wasn't this group? What would you prefer to be doing? If they say out of this place, ask them, okay, what would you be doing out of this place? Like, what are the things that you'd be doing at home or wherever you're at? Why is this being here holding you back from achieving those things? Or another example could be an older adult resisting a walking program or something that you're trying to put out there to get them to get out of bed and exercise. Okay. And you might ask them, what are some things that matter most to you about your independence? And you might ask them that question, and you might point out that if they don't use it, they're going to lose it. And if they don't continuously practice walking, there might have difficulty. They might have to use a wheelchair, or they might not be able to walk, or they might, be bed bound. And you don't want that to be the case. Okay. And you can find out what their reasons are, what their fears are, and then point those out to them, so that you're showing them what they've already kind of come up with in their head. Okay. So a lot of times when they hear that and they think about it, they're like, okay, now I know the reason why I need to do this. Okay. You're not telling them to do it. You're basically telling them what could happen if they don't do it. And it affects something else that they care about. Small shifts in how you ask questions can unclog big breakthroughs for clients. Okay. So working on how you word things. Okay. And I really feel like this can be practiced, but not mastered. Okay, so this is something that you're going to have to practice with people. And some people are going to be naturally good at it, finding out the reason behind the reason behind the issue, and helping clients to discover what motivates them. Others, it might take a little more practice. Okay, so if you're a person who asks a lot of questions and you're really good at asking questions, this skill, oh my gosh, you're going to be so effective as a recreational therapist once you get it under your tool belt and you start using it in your daily practice. Okay, so now we're going to wrap things up for today. Motivational interviewing helps us to stop fixing and start listening. And in doing so, we help clients take ownership of their growth. Okay, we are letting them be in control. Okay, and it's a game changer for trust building and behavior change and treatment buy-in. So if you can master this skill, and those are the things that you're noticing are roadblocks, motivational interviewing will be your friend. This is something you should use. Okay, next week, we're going to talk about burnout prevention and self-care for recreational therapists. So recreational therapists being as empathetic as they are and as caring as they are, and hearing about some of the most negative, troubling situations and doing this day in, day out can lead to burnout, to where you don't want to get up in the morning and you feel depressed and you feel like you can't be the best rec therapist you can be. And so we'll be talking about burnout, and we'll be talking about some ways to get past that. Even the most passionate individuals, most passionate rec therapists, need rest, to set boundaries, and to get support when they need it. Okay? And you don't want to miss it. Guys, thank you guys so much for showing up for week number 32 of the Smart Start Recreational Therapy Insights YouTube channel. I am so enjoying doing these for you. And guys, I hope you have a happy Monday. And as always, recreational therapists, I want to leave you with this. Stay classy.